It's time. It is time for the third round of autumn international matches for some teams, and the second round for others. We're going to preview Ireland, England, Wales and Scotland's matches this weekend. So if you do enjoy, do subscribe. We're going to start first of all with Ireland, who host New Zealand. It's the best team in the world against the second best team in the world. New Zealand have won 26 games against Ireland, only losing one, but that big game in Chicago back in 2016 where they managed to pull off an incredible 40 points to 29 win comes to mind straight away. Then they lost home at the Aviva, but Ireland have developed amazingly, massively. No Conor Murray in this game due to injury for the Irish, of course. He will not be there. And for me, this is a massive match to determine about next year's World Cup. For me, Ireland and New Zealand are front runners to win next year's World Cup. I think New Zealand are quite far in front, but I think if Ireland can put a really good showing in here, possibly come away with a win, they could really show what they can do for next year's World Cup. Now, in my opinion, Ireland have to go for it. They've got to go for it, and you cannot afford to sit back and let New Zealand have the ball. Now, what they did so well in Chicago was they kept scoring, they kept going for it. They didn't stop and think we have to defend here. They kept going for it. They were confident in what they were doing, and they scored tries and points. You've got to keep the scoreboard ticking if you want to be the All Blacks. That was the problem with England. They were 15-0 up and they didn't go for the points when they should have, and that would have meant that it kept the scoreboard ticking. But Ireland also cannot kick silly kicks to New Zealand, just give them possession back. They need to be tactical with their kicks. Now, a key battle in this match is going to be between Jonathan Sexton and Beauden Barrett, possibly or probably the two best fly halves in the world. Beauden Barrett, fantastic with the ball in hand, not a great kicker towards the posts, but he's able to dictate the game, and also he's fantastic at scoring tries. Jonathan Sexton, a great tactical kicker, and once again good with the ball in his hands and good at kicking at the posts. Whoever wins that battle will probably win the match. So what are my predictions for this one? I think it's going to be very, very close. I think it's going to be extremely entertaining, very exciting, cagey at the start as both teams work out how they want to play this one. But I do think the Irish are going to win by 4 points. But guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Now it's on to England against Japan, and we have a special guest who is going to look at this game for us. It's Noah Jarvis from the Noah Jarvis Rugby channel. He is going to preview this one for us, so do go and check him out. He's linked in the description down below, and give him a subscription. Here we go, Noah. Let us know your thoughts.
Hey guys, my name's Noah Jarvis and I've been brought in by Jarvis Rugby to give you the lowdown on the England vs Japan game. So yeah, let's get into it. And let's start with the team selection. Now, Eddie Jones has decided to bring in a couple of youngsters for their first starts. I'm talking people like Zach Mercer and especially Joe Cokanasiga, who's been brought in for his good performances for Bath over this Premiership season. Now, I'm very excited about Joe coming into this team because he brings something very different on the wing. A lot of our wingers are either workhorses or just outright gas, and it's interesting having someone with just brute force and a bit of like subtleties with his offloading skills and stuff like that to really change the dynamic of this attacking team. And we haven't really settled on a back three yet. We've had Daly play a number of positions, Anthony Watson play a number of positions, and we seem to have, despite picking Mike Brown for so long, just put him to the wayside now, and we're focusing on Daly at 15. And so I have a feeling that when it gets to World Cup time, Daly will definitely be in the team because of his long-range kicking. Watson will probably be in the team when he comes back. And then there's one more place up for grabs, and it's either going to be someone like Johnny May, or, now that he's having his debut, Joe Cokanasiga, who I think Eddie Jones rates very highly, actually, as he's brought him in on the Argentina tour in like 2017 or something like that. And he's had his eye on him for quite a while now, so it'll be very interesting to see how he goes in that team. No Manu Tuolangi, but I have a feeling they're just saving him for the Australia game, as you don't really want him getting injured in the Japan game. Everyone's just going to be a bit downhearted by it. Other points to note is that Jack Nowell, despite coming on in the wing on the weekend against New Zealand, is now stepping in at 13. I think this isn't where Eddie Jones thinks he should play going forward. I think this is just more of a thing of giving Henry Slade a rest and also getting Alex Lozowski in at 12, which I think Eddie Jones preferred him at. And on the bench we've got loads of the starters from the New Zealand game, including people like Dylan Hartley and Owen Farrell. So it should be a pretty interesting game in terms of how England play. Hopefully it doesn't get too open, because I know Japan will want that and to sort of catch us off guard and have us all spread around the pitch. That's what happened in the Barbarians game, if any of you have watched that, where the Barbarians just played this opening, expansive game, and England were trying to play with that and almost play as wide as that, and they just cut us to ribbons whenever they had turnover ball. So it'll be interesting to see how this game plays out, and it'll also be interesting to see if England's form can carry over from this New Zealand game, as everyone seems to be on a bit of a high now, knowing that we can actually mix it up with the big boys, despite it being on a rainy day. But still, I've taken a lot of confidence actually, because I thought we were going to get smoked against New Zealand. So yeah, it should be interesting looking forward, and I actually believe that we'll be able to continue this form going forward for our next 2 games. And now on to predictions. Now, I am incredibly biased as an England fan, but I do believe that England will win by at least 30 points, and if we play well, it'll be over 50. But I do say that knowing that this Japan team have been known to cause upsets, most famously against South Africa in that World Cup game, but also every time they seem to play Wales, they seem to go really close. So I may be underestimating Japan a little bit, but hopefully I don't look too stupid in a few days' time when this comes out. But my final prediction is England to win by 30. So thank you very much for watching. Yeah, back to you, Biz.
Now it's time to look at Scotland. Scotland play South Africa. Now last week, what a performance against Fiji. 54 points to 17. Tommy Seymour getting a hat-trick of tries, and it was incredible really, and good for Gregor Townsend to show and put out a very strong side against the Fijians. This means that as they go into this game against South Africa, it means that they then will have that continuity. They'll have the momentum going into this match at Murrayfield. Now South Africa, they'd have faced them 6 months ago, you'd have expected them to win Scotland quite comfortably, but South Africa are a resurgence. They have played really good rugby, came very, very close to beating England 2 weeks ago, and then beat France at the Stade de France last weekend. One big piece of news is no Faf de Klerk. Personally, and possibly I would say, one of the best scrum halves in the world currently. He's been released back to Sale from prior agreement. That is a huge loss for South Africa. He sets the tempo, he's a great scrum half. They will miss him, but they still have quality players. They have their winger, Deante, they have Willie LaRue, they have Pollard at fly half, they have Estebeth in the second row, who is an incredible physical specimen. He will put some power. Now when you're playing South Africa, you know it's going to be a physical battle. If you can win the physical battle, you're more than likely going to win the match. But we know that Scotland want to play attacking rugby, and that's where Hugh Jones is going to come into this match. He's a physical, yes, showed his defensive frailties maybe a little bit against Wales, but he will show his attacking work against South Africa. Now it's really important that South Africa hold their defensive line against this Scottish team. This Scottish team want to throw the ball about, they want to attack, and they want to play interactive rugby. That's what they want to do. So if South Africa can have a short defence and build on that, they should win. But as I said, Scotland will want to throw the ball about, and they need good possession to do that. Finn Russell is in fantastic form for Racing and for Scotland. Hogg just agreed to move to Exeter Chiefs. He is in the team as well. Tommy Seymour on form as well. It's a really exciting Scotland team. No place for Alex Dunbar, which is a bit of a shock for me, in the whole 23, which is a bit of a shock. But what are my predictions for this one? Well, I'm going to go to Scotland to win by 5. I think that home advantage is going to be key. But once again, it's going to be very, very close. But let me know in the comments down below. Who do you think is going to take this one? Leave them down there. Let's talk about Wales, who host Tonga, probably the easiest game of the weekend for the home teams, or maybe Japan against, I'd say Wales against Tonga actually. Now Wales have made so many changes to this starting team. Lots of players having their first cap. Jonah Holmes at fullback. That is a very brave decision from Warren Gatland. But Wales will go into this one with confidence, beating Australia last week 9-6, beating Scotland at home. We're on an 8-match unbeaten run so far. We're playing some really good rugby. Our defence is looking extremely solid, but it's creativity which is lacking. But for this Tonga game, it's an opportunity to blood youngsters, to try new things out and to see what works. I'd expect us to beat Tonga pretty comfortably, to be honest, but Tonga, we have to remember, are actually playing some really good rugby at the minute. They've got some great players, and we know they're going to be physical. Now we know that Wales, we have to keep the game structured. If it gets all over the place, if it gets so silly, Tonga will love that. That's what they thrive upon, is the chaos in the match. They thrive on that, and we cannot afford to slip up. We've lost against Pacific nations before, Western Samoa. We've lost against Fiji before in 2007. Don't remind me as a Welsh fan. But we know that if we keep it ordered, if we keep our scrum and line out very strong, and we kick our points, we should be fine. One absentee from the match, which I'm a bit surprised about, is no Jared Evans on the bench. Personally, I think he's played really well fly half for Cardiff Blues this season. Hasn't really had a chance in a Wales shirt. Would have loved to have seen him on the bench. But Dan Biggar comes back in after kicking that penalty against Australia to win the match. Really excited to see how he goes again in a Wales shirt. Owen Watkins starting out as centre. Really excited to see how he goes. And the pack looks good with Ellis Jenkins captaining at the side. But my prediction for this one, Wales to win by about 25 points on the day. Should be a feast of tries. So there you go, that's my preview ahead of week 3 or week 2 for some teams of the Autumn Internationals. If you have enjoyed, do subscribe, guys. We're trying to hit 100 subs before the end of the year, and we are so close to doing it. So with your help, we can do it. If you have any thoughts on what I've said, if you disagree or agree, let me know in the comments down below. And remember to check out the Noah Jarvis, link to his channel in the description down below. Give him a subscription, watch his videos, and give them a like. Thank you very much for watching. Take it easy, enjoy the rugby. Peace.